Hi, welcome to the award-winning Ed Brown Show. I tell you, boy, I talk about homework, but the greatest homework that I've done for years and years and years, and I haven't been able to solve that, and that is tax dodger. A lot of people, they talk about different things that they're able to do, but tax dodging, I think, is one of the #1 problems in the USA. And we have a great leader who has showed us many, many times is that, hey, you don't pay taxes, you find loopholes in taxes. Oh, so this individual, he's from the free world. You might know him, but anyway, he feels that, hey, taxes are for losers. You know what I mean? Is that, anybody pay taxes is a loser, because that means you got to work for your money. I mean, all the roads that you ride on, all the facilities that you have, health and all that stuff that need tax money, you don't pay none of that. You let the other guy pay it. The guy can't afford it. The guy that's eating out of the fast food, and the guy that barely, is living. I mean, just because you have a few greenbacks, you say, no, you're a smart guy if you don't pay taxes, especially if it goes for a time like 20 years. Let's see, what could I do with taxes if I didn't pay taxes for 20 years? Hey, I could open up a business. I could do a lot of things, but the roads would be full of potholes. Okay, we wouldn't have a health plan. We wouldn't have any army or tanks or guns or anything, because they cost money. And if you don't pay taxes, hey, you can't afford it. So what happens? What's the result of us not paying taxes? Oh yeah, the country next door to another country, they will say, hey, look, let's go over to USA, because they don't pay taxes, is that they don't have any money, because all the roads are bad, the health problems are bad, everything, because taxpayer is for, excuse the expression, they call it FOOL. Oh, well, I don't think you're supposed to say that on TV, but anyway, that's the way some people in this country feel about paying taxes. And this is something that we all need to think about. When we went into the booth and all, and we pulled that lever, did you think about, hey, I got to pay taxes? So I got a few newspapers. I got some from the South, North, East, and West, and I just wondered how people feel about taxes. How do you feel about taxes? Do you feel that anyone should not pay taxes, no matter where they are, what color they are, blue, green, or polka dot? Because this would be a great country if nobody pays taxes, or everybody use some kind of scheme not to pay taxes. We wouldn't have to worry about a lot of things, because we wouldn't have anything. So part of freedom is paying taxes. And I always thought that, until this year, when one of our outstanding citizens said, hey, me pay taxes? Man, I got lawyers that save me money over a 20-year period of time. That's what you need to do. If you're paying too much taxes, get you a lawyer so you don't have to pay taxes for 20, 30 years. Okay, so the country goes down the drain. So what do you have? Well, you don't have anything anyway. You have people there stealing the money or misusing the money. That's what happens, And then the system that you have, the system goes right down the drain, because that fever catches, Say, hey, look, if the #1 man in the free world don't like paying taxes, why should I? I mean, I'm just a little guy. Why should I worry about paying taxes so somebody else can, have that big house or that car or that airplane and all of that? Oh, we just live on the air. See how long that lasts. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that I've done my homework. You know, that's the only thing I always tell you. Do your homework, you know, and on the taxes. What do you think about taxes? You think that you should not pay taxes. I mean, give me a call on that, because if we find enough people that feel they shouldn't pay taxes, heck, we'd be in good shape. We wouldn't have any country, no roads, wouldn't have no protection of any kind, no health plan, no transportation plan. We would have none of those things, because it takes taxes to have those things. And hey, what about you catching Metro and all? We wouldn't have to worry about them fixing Metro, because there wouldn't be any Metro, because hey, that takes taxes, you know. Same way with research, in health research, you know. Oh, we wouldn't have research hospital because we don't pay taxes, and that's what pays the taxes, is your taxes pay. But we have the #1 man so in the free world now, and say, hey, look, I haven't paid tax in 20 years. See, you guys got to get with it. You know what I mean? You gotta, you know, you got to get out there and find you a lawyer that can find holes in the tax law. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work hard as I can, and so that I don't have to pay tax. It's okay for you to pay, but not me, you know, because I'm a smart guy. You know, I know all the loopholes. I pay to get the loophole. In fact, I put people in office, you know, that know the loopholes, so that I don't have to pay taxes. So what are the people saying about this? You know, they're saying, hey, I thought this country was made strong through individuals paying their share, not avoiding their share. If this country was based on people avoiding their share, boy, we would be down the drain. I'll tell you that right now, because you would not have a country. You would not have the things that you're enjoying now. You take it for granted, right? All going the roads. Hey, there's a pothole down there by my house. You know, who's going to fix that? Or either, well, we need some research, health research. Who's going to pay for that, you know? And what about education? You know, what we have to do, we got to think about the future. Who's going to take care of all this stuff when we're gone? And believe me, you won't be here no matter whether you pay taxes or not to a certain time, because the man upstairs, he takes care of everybody, no matter how much money they have. It has nothing to do with it. You have to do your share. And that's what most of these papers, there's the Wall Street Journal, I know some people hate that, the Washington Post, the Orlando, Florida paper, all these newspapers around the country, you know, they are talking about how would a leader that feels that taxes is not a good thing to push, is that what are we going to do? How are we going to live, you know, if everybody doesn't pay their share? Hey, in this country right now, 3% of the people control all the money. That's right. And you know what 3% of the people are? Corporations. And then, you know, how many corporations do you own? How many corporations do you use? I think you use quite a few. But if we're going to, you know, make it easy for a certain group to, you know, live in this country, live at a higher standard, live at an educational level, then, hey, look, you're right. But to me, as far as it's concerned, I was appalled that the leader of the free world will be out there pushing, finding holes not to do their share. You know what I mean? They feel they'll use somebody else's money. That's what we'll do. We'll use your money, but I'm going to keep my money. Yeah. Tell me about it. Give me a call. What do you think about the tax? You know, we talk about different people. We call them tax. You call them tax dodgers. Any people that go to service, they call them, if they don't want to go to the Army and Navy, draft dodgers. You know, so we got tax dodgers here in the United States. And the thing about it, We're pushing it. Our leaders are saying, hey, you know, get you a good lawyer, and then you can be a tax dodger, you know. But I mean, we won't have much of a country, but still, you know, if nobody pays taxes, nothing. And what about those gremlins? I call them gremlins. I won't say I, but a gremlin. What about when those people decide to say, hey, look, let's go over to the United States because they don't have nothing. They don't pay taxes over there. You know, they don't have an army. They don't have a navy. They don't have nothing, you know. They just don't pay taxes. Hey, that's your choice. And what happens when you look around and you say, hey, look, what are we going to do about this problem here? Am I going to pay my share, or am I going to let this country go down the drain? And believe me, if everybody's not doing their part, paying their share, there will be no country in the future. You don't have to worry about it because somebody else will be taking over, you know, because that's the idea, you know, is that the weak are the ones that suffer in this world. All you have to do is just look around the world. The countries that don't have the army and the bombs and, hey, the poverty all everywhere. The countries that have the bombs and the ships and everything, oh, they're living pretty good time, you know. But most of those countries have taken advantage of the smaller countries. They've raided the natural resources from Africa, from Asia, from all over the world. And so what are you going to do with that? You know, I was appalled that the leader of the free world would be pushing the idea that, hey, look, I'm proud of the fact that I don't pay taxes. You know, I'm not going to pay any taxes because what happened, I use that money to avoid taxes, you know, and that's what I want the people in the United States to do. Use that money to avoid taxes. I mean, in the way that you do it, you put incompetent people in basic important positions. Like they had some kind of hearing or something where certain people were, it's like it's a fox watching the hen house, you know. They had corporation people into positions that they have no experience with at all. Only thing they know is money, 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 money. You know, no experience on what a health plan is, what people need, and what they have to do to make this a better country. This country is great now. You hear that word said, we're going to make great. Great for who? That's the word. Great for who? It's great for the 3% that own the money, or great for the people that are actually making the money and making it possible for things that we are enjoying now. You're enjoying a television show that's trying to point out things that you need to do your homework on. Don't listen. And these hearings that they're having now are ridiculous. So individuals are associated with the money world, corporate world, and they're putting them in position in which they're supposed to be making it easier for the people in this country. Hey, watch yourself there. Tax, if you believe in taxes, give me a call. And hey, we're going to have a young lady here, my assistant here, Mrs. From Richmond, Mrs. Richmond there. She's going to try to tell us something about a young man that did the best that he could with all the hindrance and lack of cooperation that he had from this country. See you in a second. Hey, welcome back to, this is Ed Brown, and we're going to continue, and we're going to talk about a young man who, he's leaving office, but he's done a terrific job because of the chain that Congress put him under for 8 years. He's Well, Romero is going to, Richmond is going to tell us something about the closing of our past president, the things that he put together under duress in this country.
And Mr. Brown, that's a great way to put it to rest. President Obama, in my view, has done a wonderful job in changing the landscape of this country. And it has not been easy the last 8 years. And he tried and tried to work with, Republicans and Democrats. And when Democrats had the presidency, they had the House and the Senate, things were going pretty well until, the tides just kind of changed when he couldn't get a lot of stuff done because Congress wouldn't work with him. But what he has been able to do, and which we hope doesn't get undone, he had to use the power of the pen to get things done.
And he was criticized for that.
And criticized for that. And he's probably been the president. I don't think Bush may have used more of executive offices than President Obama, but I can't say that for sure. but he had to use the pen, and if not, things would not get done. And so for the Republicans to say that their first order of business is to repeal and replace Obamacare is, out of all the issues going on in the world today, that's going to be their first order of business.
Well, the idea is that anything positive, that's the first thing that people usually attack about anyone. In other words, they never pick out the positive things that you've done. Your positive items may be 2,000 and your negative 1,000.
Right.
And the one that they emphasize is always going to be the 1,000, the negative part. So you expect that.
Right, and I can speak for myself. With Obamacare, someone having a disability, having been so sick for the last 12 years, and having to spend the money in health care, doctor visits, medications, Obamacare worked for me, or works for me, and it works for a lot of other people. So for folks that are not, when you're working on a fixed income and you're trying to get rehabilitated, trying to get your life back together, those costs can really send you for a loop.
Imagine calling for a change of something that you have no answer for yourself.
What are you going to change it to?
What are you going to change it to? If you presented something that was better than what you have, it makes a big difference. But when you're just complaining about something because a certain person suggested it, then that shows you how the world is.
And what's the fear is that, and we've talked about this a lot, they can replace it and repeal it and put their little stamp on it and then call it whatever they want to call it.
Right, and do the same thing.
Right, after President Obama has done all the work. But I was so glad last night in his farewell address, which I just loved, emotional now still, when he talked about if there is something better, with health care, he said, let's hear it, and I will be the first one publicly to support it. And just his speech last night was it was overwhelming. It was so positive. He talked about what he had accomplished, his administration had accomplished for the last 8 years, and things that he's
under
duress. Yeah, I mean, and he talked about the future. He wasn't like just all glim, all just everything is so bad, everything is just, horrible, and he talked about the future for the company, for the country, and I thought that was so positive. Yes, this is where we were, this is where we are, and this is where we can be. So when he said the yes we can, and yes we did, and yes we will, I was like, oh my God, I love that man because President Obama is a man for the people. He didn't work with special interests. He did what he wanted to do or what he could do the country, and everything, all of his campaign promises, the first term and the second term, he got a lot of that done
and
without any help.
With duress, and see, people don't
Right.
understand that the things that he proposed, they help
Helped
the majority of the
people.
The minority of the people, just like the Spanish, were they about 13%. You find the African Americans about 15%. Okay, and then you find the masses, the people that really benefited from it was the majority of the people, and they were Europeans. The Europeans in this country benefited from Obamacare more so than the minorities.
And they don't realize
the opposition make you think that anything that's going to help the people is going to help the minorities. That's not true. Most of the programs that are helping people are for benefit the majority of the people of this country, which is European. That's the irony of it.
And that's the thing, because people don't study, they don't know what they've gotten with Obamacare. They are complaining, oh, it's horrible, yada, 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 but they don't even know what they've gotten. And now, when it comes to their Social Security, and when it comes to their benefits, and when it comes to their health care and their housing, they are actually they're in for a shock.
Yeah.
Because they are not going to get the same number of services that they got under President Obama. They are going to be in a rude awakening. When you see your Social Security is just flying out the door, and the jobs are flying out the door, and the money is flying out the door.
Well, that's because the setup that we talked about early about the 3% of the people that control the money in the country. Only thing they're thinking about is profit. They're not thinking about service to the people. If there's a profit involved in a good thing is a thing now that they've worked on is building prisons and making building prisoners a profitable thing. In other words, we build more prisons, we have more people, and then we make more money.
Right.
So that is one of the things that this country has to realize. Most of the bills that are passed for the needy, the Europeans benefit from it. Europeans in this country benefit from it, but but the media always paint the picture
they have that spin.
that anything that's helping the people is no good.
It must
and
be
what
just
they're
for the
doing
minorities.
Actually, they're cutting their throat with not supporting the Obama bill.
And the thing that is so crazy is that, how do you vote for a reality show? Now, people want it changed, so look at Trump. Okay, everybody in his cabinet is a billionaire.
Yeah.
Excellent example. And they're all, Caucasian.
Right.
So what do you think that means for the masses of people? What do you actually think he is going to do for you if you are poor and you are a person of color? And, even for Caucasians that, he made a good point last night. You feel like you've been left behind, but guess what? You haven't. Look at the bigger picture. And so when people start losing the services that President Obama put in, they're going to really finally get it. But for him, to say, if you are a minority, pretty soon this country is going to be a country full of brown people.
Right.
And so we have got, like he said, we have to work together. And if you have a problem, you get you go out and you get the votes and go, run for yourself. But get your pen and you start taking notes, because if there's something that you don't like what's going on in this country, you know what, as a citizen, you can fix it. And people forget that this is a citizen-based country. If you want something different, then you have to do something different. You can't blame it on the president because the president can't do it all. And if you don't show up for the primary, you know.
Well, that's the same thing. The same thing I emphasize with the hearings going on now. Some of the people they are really shocked, you know, from the election, and then they're shocked too that a foreign country had influence over the election. And the thing that you have to do out there, don't sit at home and moan and groan. You're having hearings now. Go down to the hearings and make your position known. That's what you have to do. Don't sit on your hands. And from now on, when they have elections, I know what's happening, what you're going through. The southern states, they continue to put barriers to keep minorities from voting, you know, changing the place of voting, those type of things. And what has really, really, really hurt this country is the fact that states' rights is over the federal rights. Right now, after the war, the slavery and everything, well, the southern states decided to say, well, we have states' rights. Right now, your states' rights are more powerful than the federal. You know why? Because of the fact that states' rights is something that the southern states continue to hold on to, that they make sure that they hinder. That's what it, and actually make sure that you don't participate. So don't get discouraged. Things gonna change. The man upstairs is still in charge, and it's gonna change. It has changed, and it's gonna be more of it. But you have to go out and do something yourself. Don't sit at home. And these hearings here, you probably sitting at home, he's gonna put anyone else, but the man upstairs is still in charge of everything. You have a parting comment?
Well, I want people to, myself included, to just get involved and stay present and stay, you know, hopeful, but to also take action. We all need to take action. If we want things to be different, we have to act different. And what's the quote, if, you know, be the change that you want to see in the world. And so I think we have to focus on that. I want to
thank Kamaria Richmond here, and this young lady, despite problems of her own, she has participated in the Ed Brown Show 2016, and we're looking forward to 2017 with some outstanding guests. I'll see you next time.
Your daughter is having trouble learning French. Do you A, hire a tutor?
Bonjour.
B, enforce a French-only rule at home? Or C, watch some foreign films? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
We can warn someone when their drink isn't safe.
And disrupt the situation.
We can.
Get someone the cab.
Or walk them home safely.
We can make campuses safer for our friends.
Our roommates.
Our classmates. Our fellow human beings.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can. Intervene.
It's on us.
All of us.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.